Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Soccer Sharps, a soccer betting podcast. Jord is back, and we're returning for domestic league action, the final show before another international break. And we've got all the big boys. We've got City, Liverpool. We've got Barcelona. We've got Real Madrid. We've got everybody you want to be watching. So stick around, baby. Here we go.
Martial. Herrera. Ibrahimovic! Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Balotelli. Aguero!
As I mentioned before, Jord, you have returned. We missed you on our Champions League show midweek. Andrew filled in admirably. But how you doing, Jord? Welcome back to wherever you are.
Thanks, Dev. It's good to be back. Ready to get some banter back in this show. But we do appreciate Andrew's services. Andrew was actually able to return a slightly positive profit from his selections, Dev. You, not so much.
Wow, yeah. How long were you waiting to uncork that one, bud? Let's go ahead and throw up. Oh, wrong one. We'll throw up the results from last week's show. This is midweek show, I should say, from the Champions League. I went 3-4, minus 1.5 units. Andrew went 3-3, but managed to turn a slight profit due to his Bayern Munich moneyline bet. And yeah, combined, I'm once again dragging us down. And, you know, it's tough when your to score or assist player gets horrifically injured in the first half. And also the other best offensive player for PSG also goes out in that half, seemingly for nothing, because he scored and got called offside. And they went, I'm done. Done with this game.
Yeah, Dev, look, them's the breaks. But, you know, the only great thing about a losing show is that there's the possibility for a bounce back. And that's what we're here to do this weekend before we ride off into the sunset of another international break. But, Dev, I just got to stick it to you a little bit more. What were you doing back in PSG? Look, we said it. This Bayern team are invincible. What are you doing, baby?
Yeah, well, it's easy with hindsight, you know, to say that. But yeah, as I mentioned before, you lose two of your best attacking players in the first half, and it's going to make it difficult for you. So,
Indeed, Dev.
I mean, look, yeah, Bayern, we're the better team, are the better team currently. I don't think I took into account the injuries enough that have plagued PSG, and Bayern just that good. I'm glad they did it. Glad to see it. And it's another data point that we will put in the quiver.
I like that, Dev. I like that. Look, I'll take you off the hot seat here, Dev. Listen, we got a review.
Oh,
we got a review for the show. Yeah.
Well, we have to read it out. As we know, I have not heard this review, so I'm excited.
Yes, indeed. You can react in real time. Hey, spoiler alert. It's another 5-star review, Deb. We're just racking up the 5 stars here.
Wow.
And this one comes to us from Jackie CC. And the title is Red Plastic Cup. And it says,
I think I know where this is going.
Drunkards. I love watching these brothers drop their knowledge on soccer, always coming through with their betting advice. The banter towards one another is wholesome, and the humor keeps me tuning in every week. Dev, no one has taken the bait to roast us on this. Our listeners are so earnest.
It's nice, you know, they're just serious people. They're very serious people. But thank you, Jackie C. That's very nice to say. You know, I hope we're not fully drunkards. Our boss sort of guy, the guy who runs Hooligan Soccer, part of the network that we're on, was telling me that he loved the sound of my glass clinking in the last episode. And I wondered to myself, I'm like, do people want to see us drinking, or do they think it makes us look like morons?
I think Jackie does.
Okay, there you go. She has affirmed that. Well, thank you, Jackie. We appreciate it. As always, guys, if you could leave us a 5-star review, we will read it out loud on the show. It doesn't matter what you say. We have to read it out loud. So that's sort of the bait Jordan's talking about. And if you are watching this live or you're watching this later, please give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, especially if you like the way we break down these matches. You don't always have to tail our plays, but hopefully the analysis can lead you toward making a more informed bet, and that's what this is all about. And we really appreciate you guys who have been with us for a long, long time, for the years we've been doing this. So we do appreciate that, and we're starting to see some growth, and it's satisfying.
Yeah, I do. That's well said there, Dev. And I do want to point out to any new followers to the show, as Dev says, we have been doing this for years now. We put up our results from the previous week's show. Haven't been great the last couple of shows. All the links to our profit and loss from our entire existence available in links in the description of any episode you're checking out. So you can see that we're not frauds. It's all tracked. It's all transparent. We have had more winning seasons than losing ones. Sometimes you have little slumps, but this is it. This is a bounce back here. Let's go.
Hell yeah, Jordan. Well, let's dive into it. We've spent enough time recapping because we've got a title race 6-pointer taking place over in the Premier League. It's Manchester City against Liverpool. This one sees Man City as home favorites of a quarter of a goal. The total is set at 3.25. What do we look at here, Jordan? We've got both teams to score minus 225. You know what the bookies think here. We've got Man City as those slight favorites on the Asian spread. Jordan, both of these teams picking up 3 points in the Champions League this midweek. Manchester City in a slightly better style, you might say, defeating Dortmund, and I believe it was 3-1, 4-1. And Liverpool, of course, with the probably tougher test, hosting Real Madrid, where they were able to take care of them in a 1-0 victory. And now these two teams, George, second and third in the table, coming up against each other. So what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, Dev, it was a 4-1 victory for Man City. I know that specifically because while I wasn't involved in the show, I had to have some action. And I took City to win and under 4.5 goals, Dev. Ryan Shirky scoring deep into stoppage time.
Oh, that fucked you.
Adding a 5th goal, yes.
So, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
Wow, so even if you don't say the plays on the podcast, you're still losing them.
Oh, zing. Listen. When you have these sort of like title 6-pointers, a lot of the time it's tempting to say like, hey, this is must not lose. So we could see like a cagey sort of stalemate thing. I think in this situation, it's must win for both teams, because if this is a draw, Arsenal's probably going to win again and put another 3 points, or 2 points if this is a draw, between them and these teams. So like, you can't really look at this as a luxury where you can kind of play for the draw, which we have seen both of these teams do recently. So I think this could be a little more end-to-end, but Dev, with the way this is lined, I actually lean under on this one, because I just think, you look at sort of recency, right? That we have seen a little bit cagier results from these teams playing. It's not like the guns blazing Klopp Pep era that we used to see. And even though there have been more goals in these teams over the last couple of seasons, when they meet, it's not always the case. And I think with the importance, even if it is must win, it's still going to be like pick your moments, be cautious about how you do attack, how you do play through the press. So I do lean under on this, but I'm going to do a hand ringer play, Dev. The hand ringer is back. He's back in town. And I want to get City on side here. They're in good form. They're in good nick. Yeah. And they're at the Etihad. Liverpool, I appreciate, while they looked like a dumpster fire a few weeks ago, they have put together some better results, but most of that has been at Anfield. And I just wonder, traveling away here to an informed City side, this might be a bridge too far for them. So I want to get City on side, and I want to play to what I said about the under. I'm going to go Man City double chance, Dev, and under 3.5 goals. I'm ticking that total up just a quarter, and that's giving me plus 125, which is just very robust, because I was leaning just playing the under on this match where it's lined. But I got a hand ringing. I got greedy, Dev. I saw that plus 125. I couldn't say no. So City double chance and under 3.5 plus 125.
It's tough, hand ringer. You start wringing your hands and you're trying to pick the side and the total on this match. Tricky, because you could see a number of outcomes here, but I think you start to look at, as you mentioned, the situation Both these teams played in the midweek. Didn't rotate a ton. We've seen now Slot go with a team 2 weeks in a row that was very reminiscent of the team that won the title, right? He's like, all right, I'm not going to put in my new right and left back. I'll put Verts out on the left. He said the whole reason he didn't go to Bayern was because he wanted to play in the 10. And Liverpool said that's where he would play. And, well, he's not ready for it. So they put him out on this wing.
Can't
and
do it.
Suddenly they're winning games. But those three guys in the midfield, right? It's McAllister, Soboslai, and Gravenberg. They're just a lot more stout. Andy Robinson playing on the left side, Connor Bradley on the right. It just felt like a lot more structure to this team defensively. Against in both of their last matchups, so against in the Real Madrid game as well as the Aston Villa game before that. And just the energy that they brought to playing defensively seemed like the Liverpool of old. It didn't seem like early in the season, this sort of basketball matches they've been playing. It was a little more like, no, we need to set up shop. We're Liverpool. We're doing this. And again, you mentioned it's very different at Anfield. But you also have the international break on the other side of this. A lot of these guys looking at that and going like, shit, man, I got to go qualify for the World Cup. I can't get injured. I'm going to talk about that a lot on this pod, as well as that coming off the midweek fixtures. You're going to see that in games coming up. But so for these two, everything at stake. You mentioned, I don't think either manager wants to draw, but I feel like the teams don't want to lose it either, because then they'll be in... they may be out of the title race. So
yes, it would be worse to lose. Yeah.
This feels like a draw to me. This feels like an under to me. This feels like a pretty slow, methodical game. So I'm just going with the under. Jordan, it's a system play back in the day for us. 2 Big Six teams, 2 title challengers. You just go under the total, and you're giving me 3.25, under 3.25, minus 118. That seems fair to me. I mean,
too much.
Could see this being like a 2-1. Right, but I could also just see this being like a 1-1 or a 1-0 either way. So I'm not going to mess with the side. I'm just going to go with that total under 3.25, Jordan.
I like what I hear, Dev. As I said, that's where I was leaning initially. Listen, I think this is a good omen here. We got Kathy. Kathy back in the chat. Howdy, fellas. Great to have you back, Kathy. I'm back from a trip. Kathy's back from a few shows' absence. Anyone else in the chat, do make yourself known. We'll get you up on the screen there. And let's hear some bets for this epic clash in the Premier League.
And speaking of epic clashes, we're moving on, Jordan. It's a non, how do I say this? A non-local derby. It's Crystal Palace against Brighton and Hove Albion. This one sees Crystal Palace as home favorites of 1/4 goal, minus 0.25. The total is set at 2.75. And Jordan, I mentioned this being a derby of sorts because these teams, while Brighton is from Brighton on the south coast and Crystal Palace are from London, they just don't like each other, which is kind of fun. I just don't like you on the other side of this. We saw 3 red cards combined in their last head-to-head meeting. But Jordan, what do you think about this one now traveling up to Crystal Palace?
Yeah, Dev, they call this the M23 derby. It's not an official derby, but as you say, it's born out of hatred, born out of contentious matches played from the 70s and beyond. Some cup matches where there was a knockout situation, brawls happened. Then there were a series of like promotion campaigns where both teams were trying to get promoted. So that made things feisty. And I think that's a better derby than like a local derby, right? Where it's just like, we hate each other, even though we're 40 miles apart on the M23. We just don't like each other because we've had bad blood, as opposed to, well, we live near each other, but not close enough. Yeah. It's weak. So give me this. Give me something born of actual agitation. Dev, I think this match, like we talked about with the last one, is probably an unders match. I think this has kind of a 1-1 written all over it, but I'm hoping, Dev, that maybe it's a 1-0 to the Crystal Palace, and I'll tell you why. Well, the reason I'm hoping that is because I'm betting on it, but the reason that I think it might come out that way is because I think Palace is the better team. I've talked about before that Brighton are a little bit fraudulent under Hertzler, just my opinion. I don't have a lot of stats to back it up other than just the eye test and the seemingly like luck box things that happen to them in a lot of their matches. And oh, by the way, this game is on the road for Brighton, where they've only had a couple of wins all season, and Palace unbeaten at home. So you're giving me Palace -1/4 on the spread. They're unbeaten at home. If this is a draw, as long as they don't lose the match, I'm only losing half my stake. But I think they're the better side, playing against a Brighton team who are shoddy on the road, and Palace are going to be locked in for this because of the derby aspect. So, yeah, absolutely. Give me Palace -1/4 where it's lined. I got a slightly better price on this than is on the card. Card says -103. I got even money, my favorite price.
Well, Jordan, I would tell you not so fast.
Whoa.
Because this Crystal Palace team just played today in the Conference League. They started a lineup that was far too strong for who they were up against here, against AZ. They ended up winning 3-1. But boy, they had everybody out there. And I'm like, now you guys got to turn around. You got to play on Sunday against this Brighton team that is plucky, right? They can just get at you on the break. They can score from all over the pitch with a number of guys. So I would be a little worried about the Crystal Palace side of this. I was actually leaning Brighton. I was looking at how to play them. I was almost going to do a hand ring, Jordan. I was thinking about Brighton to win or draw with the both teams to score, yes. That was +130. But ultimately, I thought, why add the side? Let's just do the classic, right? Both teams to score in over 2.5 goals. It's -105. Both teams to score in this one, -175. So you know how the bookies feel about that it's pretty likely both teams score. You look at their head-to-heads. We've seen both teams score in 9 of the last 10 meetings between them. And the past 3 head-to-heads have all gone far over the total. We had a 2-1, a 3-1, and a 4-1. So I think this could be a pretty exciting game. I think this could be pretty end-to-end. I'm a little nervous about taking a side, so Jordan, I just went with the total here. Both teams score and over 2.5, coming in at -105.
Well, let's. I guess we're rooting for a 2-1 Crystal Palace.
Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, and Kathy agrees with me. Crystal Palace has the better name, so I like Jordy's selection. Love to hear it. We've got Aaron DeSantis in the chat, Dev. How's it going, boys? It's going well. It's going well.
Couldn't be better, mate. Getting to talk about soccer, sipping an old fashioned. I mean, come on.
Shit.
What else is there?
Sounds incredible.
Yeah. Well, let's move on, Jordan. We got one more EPL matchup for you guys, and it's Aston Villa against Bournemouth. This one sees Aston Villa as home favorites of 1/4 goal. The total is set at 2.5. Jordan, Bournemouth live dogs here. Aston Villa coming off playing on Thursday. We've seen how they've been affected playing in the midweek games, and now they got to play this Bournemouth side who has been, I would say, punching above their weight. So what do you think about this matchup?
Listen, Dev, I stayed off of this one, and it's because of Aston Villa. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I can't get fooled again. I'm not dealing with this Villa team. I can't make heads or tails of them. Every time I back them, they lose. Every time I fade them, they get a result, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Birmingham. I'm done with it. I leave this up to you.
The whole, is it a county? What is it? Birmingham.
It's a city.
Okay.
Peaky Blinders. Yeah. Birmingham.
I can't watch the like 25 episode seasons of these shows.
No, it's not that. It's like 13, right?
Like how many seasons are there? 14. How many episodes in each? 18 episodes. Oh, okay, that's like 100. I don't have time.
You know why, Deb? It's because you watch too much soccer YouTube, just like me. This is what we do. All I watch is YouTube, so I can't get any shows done. So much YouTube.
Oh God. Okay. Well, you're staying off it, Jordan. This is eerily similar to the last game we covered, right? The Palace Brighton one, where you saw a 1/4 goal spread. Seen that total. This one's slightly lower at the 2.5. But Jordan, for me, it's all about that midweek. You got Villa coming off the midweek. Bournemouth had all week to rest. Just looking forward to this game. You're giving me a 1/4 goal on the spread. I'm just going to take it right there. And it's as simple as that. I wish I had a stronger sort of handicap for you, but I will say Bournemouth have not beaten this Aston Villa side in 5 meetings. There are some draws in there, which would cash for me, but they're due, maybe due to beat it. I worry about the managerial matchup because it feels like it's like a weird Spanish hoodoo thing.
I was just going to say there's actually a wrinkle here in that Unai Emery has played against Areola 6 times and is unbeaten. So that's across when they were in La Liga together and the EPL. So not a great managerial record, but Dev, I'm with you. I mean, as I said, this Villa team, you can't make heads or tails of them. You don't know what you're going to get. Bournemouth, at least you know you're going to get intensity. Maybe they don't come out on the right side of it, but you're going to get effort, and they're catching a quarter of a goal. So I like the play, and I certainly hope it happens because, as I say, I'm sick of this Villa team.
Yeah, I mean, some of the injuries for Villa I think are important. Emiliano Buendia, he's been out. He's been one of their better creative players. He's been out for a little bit now. Yuri Tielemans is been out for a little while as well. Guys who just solidify the midfield. Onana's been quite good, but he's been banged up as well. I think he's probably going to play in this one. Weird team you mentioned with Villa, but again, I just think Bournemouth are hot. Areola can't beat fucking what's his name? Unai Emery, but
the Warlock we used to call him.
But maybe this is the time that he does. Jack in the chat says, "Boys, no play on Spurs versus Man U."
How do you know what we got coming up?
because they would have chronologically been earlier, I think. But it's a fair point. It's a big game, but how do you bet that game? What are Spurs? They have this incredible scoring run against in the midweek against Copenhagen. Was Copenhagen? No.
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt? Copenhagen. And but then the week before that, they can't do shit against Chelsea. So I don't know who this Spurs team is. The Man United side of this, like, are they good? Are they a little bit fraudulent? Do we just take overs with this team? Well, you can't when the Spurs are here because it seems like they just want to defend and do set pieces. So for me, I can't split it. So I stayed off of that match, although it should be fun to watch. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's fair. Spurs have also been atrocious at home under Thomas Frank, which is weird. They got to sort that out.
Weirdly bad, actually, right?
Yeah.
Like something like 25% winning percentage or something crazy.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. You want your home form to be good. As a West Ham United fan, I know the struggles. Got our first home win since February.
And you guys might win again tomorrow, right? It's Friday.
We'll see.
It's a Friday fixture.
I think it's Saturday, actually.
Saturday. Well, I don't give a shit about West Ham. So let's move on, Jordan, because we've got Ligue on the books. We have, there's got to be a name for this, right? Some sort of like Derby de France. It's Lyon against Paris Saint-Germain. Olympique Lyonnais, our home dogs here of a half a goal plus 0.5. The total is set at a flat 3. Jord, both teams to score, minus 175. Could be a little parlay piece with however you want to take this game. Jord, Paris failed me on the week during the week. Had Bayern down to 10 men, and it was just knocking on the door all the second half. One-way traffic, and couldn't get that second goal to get the push for me. And Lyon, a little bit resurgent after all their off-season tumult. So what do you think about this matchup here, Jordan, with PSG traveling to Lyonnais?
Yeah, Deb, to be fair to you, too, something we didn't mention before when we recap PSG Bayern, Manuel Neuer turning back the clock and making some incredible saves to deny PSG. But yeah, look, Dev, you talked about it. Hakimi and Dembele going off. That's not ideal. Luis Enrique also seemed to be out-coached. Like, maybe Company deserves a little more credit now. 16 wins from 16 played. I mean, that's not nothing. That's not a luck box thing. So, listen, Lyon just played today in Europa with a much rotated side. Rested a lot of key players. And were promptly dispatched 2-0 on their travels to Real Betis. So I think they were looking ahead to this one. I think they understand that, you know, with the league phase of Europa, it's not all that important. And this one matters because they are challenging for Europe once again. They're only 4 points off of PSG, who are at the top of the table in Liga. And I think they eye this one. As you said, this should be some kind of derby. If we knew French football better, maybe there is some kind of nickname for it. But I will tell you that these are two of the biggest teams in France. And when they face each other, we often have fireworks. So that's where I'm going with this match here, Dev. I'm going with the classic. You called it that earlier. Both teams to score and over 2.5 coming in at -110. It's a fair enough price. Lyon often come out the losing side in this fixture, but they always score. Not always score, but you have to go back to like early 2023 for the last time a team was blanked in this head-to-head matchup. So, yeah, I'm not messing with the side here, Dev. I was almost tempted by that Lyon as home dogs getting that double chance, but PSG is just such a scary proposition in Liga. So I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to mess with the fact that I think they concede, and I think someone scores twice, and that comes in at -110.
Nice, Jordan. I'm glad you're not taking a side here because Paris, they went all the way in that Club World Cup. They lost that final game. They had a really long season where they won the Champions League and won everything in France. And are those extra minutes starting to catch up with them? I mean, the Hakimi injury was just Luis Diaz being a complete asshole.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Tough look for
He
Luis
almost
Diaz,
got a scadaboo there. Almost a scadaboo twist.
Well, I mentioned on the last pod, Bayern blames PSG for the Musiala scadaboo.
That's true. That wasn't, the same injury.
So,
that.
It
would
was
be so funny if that
eye for an eye, ankle for an ankle, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm staying off this one, Jord. I can't deal with these Frenchmen. They're vexing to me. I'll give you some numbers for it, though. We've seen in 5 straight head-to-head meetings, PSG has won all of those. They've also seen both teams scoring in over 2.5 in 5 straight of those meetings as well. So hopefully more of the same. Tanner Tessman, the American midfielder, plays for Olympique Lyon. So I'd like to see him out there getting some minutes. All right, nothing to respond to that with. So, Jord,
we got an American club here, too.
That's right. You got the Oakland Roots jersey on. That's pretty cool looking. That's the USL team.
Yeah, when in Oakland, buy a jersey.
Yeah, all right. I can't find that one in Colombia for the cheap knockoff prices like I like to get. But, Jord, let's move over to the Serie, where we have Derby della Mole, which is Juventus hosting Torino FC. This is the Turin Derby, or as it's known, Derby della Mole.
And why is it called Derby della Mole, Deb?
Because there's it's the Derby of the Mole, and there's you told me this lore before we went on, but there's a building,
a famous building,
right. Yeah. Famous building in Turin that's infested by mole rats, like little moles that are burrowing under it, and for some reason the Italians love it, and they've named the derby after that.
And some suspect that that's also what happened under the Tower of Pisa, which is why it's leaned, right? So
yeah, the moles are
mole rats.
Italian moles or something else.
They're all over.
We're kidding. We don't know what we're talking about. So let's talk about the soccer, something we do know a little something about. This one sees Juventus as home favorites of a full goal, -1. Total is set at 2.5. Jord, both teams to score no, -150. The yes, +110. Some interesting numbers on this board, especially when you start to look at Juventus and their new coach, Luciano Spalletti, who comes over from being unemployed, I suppose, but was most recently manager of the Italian national team, coming back to Juventus, and now they've got to face their arch home rivals right before this international break. What do you think about this matchup, Jordan?
Yeah, Dev. Luciano Spalletti, disgraced as Italy manager. However, the last time he was a club manager, he did quite well with Napoli, right? Won the title before it became trendy and like Conte started doing it. I respect the guy. I think he's a hell of a manager. Igor Tudor, also disgraced. Juventus just can't figure it out with like who to appoint. I think this is probably the most exciting manager they've appointed in some time. Finally, we get a guy who like wants to score goals and doesn't just want to win 1-0. Has he been there long enough to give us that yet? Or is he still kind of working with that, with the players he's got, the Juve DNA of just like sitting in and really being stout defensively? Probably not, but I think that he has enough of a new manager bounce influence here in a home match in a derby where they should probably get the result here. I mean, they are minus 209 on the money line here, Dev. They are the better side. We know they have the better talent. We know they have the better roster. They have the better manager. I'm going to take them here, Dev, but obviously minus 209 is prohibitive. So I'm going to do what we like to call the free hit here, Dev. It's lined at -1 on the Asian handicap. I'm going to take that. If they only win by 1, I'm happy to push out. But I think there's every chance that if Spalletti has his methods delivered in recent weeks, then we could see them win this by margin. But I definitely think they get the victory, so I feel safe taking the -1. Not a lot of analysis there other than backing my bald guy Spalletti, who's not a bald fraud, except for when he coaches national teams.
Yeah, Spalletti famously got the Napoli crest tattooed on his arm. I don't know what he's going to do about that because hopefully, I guess he'll just have to wear sleeves all the time. Can't wear long sleeves.
I'll cover it up. I'll put a Juve one on it.
Yeah, the Juve aren't going to like that. Look, Jordan, I barely even had to look at the lines here. I said, what is the total? It's 2.5. Are you
That
kidding
scared
me?
me, yeah.
I'm going under that, Jordan. -125. It's a little juicy, but look, two teams that are not fans of each other. This is not quite Torino's Super Bowl. This is their conference championship. They have to go to Juventus when they're hosting Juventus. That's their Super Bowl. So they don't like each other, these teams. It's going to be a pretty disgusting match, I would imagine. A lot of late kicks, studs on ankles, people getting upset, rolling around.
Well, you would think so, but doesn't it scare you a little bit that the market is reacting this way? Like it's a Serie A match, a derby in Serie A that's not lined at 2.25. Why?
Well, I think it's the Spalletti effect.
Could we see a
right?
Spalletti explosion here?
Yeah, I mean, could be, but does Juventus really have the horses for it? You mentioned all these managers they brought in, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, is it even the manager's fault, or is it because you have Dusan Vlahovic, who can't really get off the ground? Kenan Yildiz is like the only world-class player on the team. McKennie, love McKennie because he's an American, but like, what even is he? Like, what is he as a player? He's such a tweener. He does everything just well enough to not be elite.
He waves a wand. He waves a wand.
Great celebration on the goals when he does the Harry Potter. We love that.
And not in like a 1950s anti-homosexual waves a wand. I mean, he literally waves a wand.
Sorry, what?
That used to be something they said like back in the 60s. But like if they thought someone was gay, they said, well, you know, he waves a wand. It's true. Look it up.
I don't doubt it. I'm just wondering how you know this information.
I didn't mean that about him. I don't mean that he waves a wand in that way. He literally waves a wand like Harry Potter. When
Nobody was listening to this going like, wow, Jordan's homophobic. He says he waves a wand.
Wow.
Nobody thought
just clarifying. Hey, we don't know our audience. We got Jack Crittenden in the chat. You know, we got all kinds of age range here. Range.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Catherine Beefheart says 2 disgusting matches this week. Yeah, it's this one I think will be disgusting. I hear you on the thing with the total, but again, the sandwich spot. You got the midweek Champions League for Juventus. They ended in a 1-1. They turn around now and they got the international break on the horizon. I just think both teams are like, Torino's like delighted with a draw. Juventus wants to win it, but I just feels like 1-1 or like 1 or 2-0 Juventus. And for me, that catches all the totals. So that's what I'm going with here, Jordan. Under 2.5 goals. And boy, we still got 2 matches for you guys. Thanks for sticking around. If you have any questions, if you have any plays you want to drop in the chat, throw them in there and we'll read them out. We'll see what's going on. As you can tell, I could use another beer. Jordan, let's move over to La Liga, which loosely translated means the league. Jordan, it's Rayo Vallecano against Real Madrid. This one sees Rayo as home dogs of a full goal +1. The total set at a flat 3. Jordan, Real Madrid failing to score or produce much at all against Liverpool in the midweek, losing that one 1-0. And Rayo, crosstown rivals Rayo. This is a Madrid derby, although it's not Atletico. These teams, once again, they hate each other. So what do you think about this matchup, Jordan, with the champions of yesteryear traveling over to Rayo? I had to remember mid-sentence who actually won Liga last year, and it was Barcelona. So
And
yesteryear.
this guy thinks he needs another beer. Listen, yeah, Rayo, the ugly stepchild of Madrid here. No one, I mean, casual fans of La Liga don't even know that this is a Madrid derby. And because it is, Dev, and because this Rayo team can be frisky on their day, especially at home, with Real Madrid coming off of the travel to Anfield where they were crestfallen after their loss. And boy, the boos for Trent Alexander-Arnold, that made me uncomfortable, actually, where it was like, okay, this has gone too far. He's like a local dude. He like won everything with you. Like, relax. Like the chorus of boos was so intense. But anyway.
Yeah, fans are scum. I mean, we know that.
Yeah, that's fair. Fans are scum. And teams are scum. Listen.
I don't like anybody in this sport, so it's amazing that I'm so into watching it.
It's so true. You hate everyone equally.
I don't like any of the teams,
players,
coaches. Some of the players I like. I like some of the players.
You like Colombians?
Well, not when they act like Luis Diaz did. Just injured guys. I like all the South Americans though. They play with a certain edge that I think is fun to watch.
That was a diplomatic word to use, Dev. I elected to stay off of this one, so tell me what you got.
Well, I had a bunch of different plays, and it all starts with Real Madrid on the money line, and then how can we get it on side? It's minus 225. Look, Madrid coming off a loss has an amazing record. They ain't gonna lose twice in a row. I'm tell you that right now. So how do we get them on side? I looked at Real Madrid with both teams to score. Because as we mentioned before on these derbies for a smaller club like Rayo, this is their Super Bowl. This is the one. They're hosting the crosstown rivals, one of the biggest teams in the world. Real Madrid money line of both teams to score plus 200, 2-1. I liked that a lot. I even looked at a money line for Madrid parlayed with Mbappe to score anytime. He didn't score last game. He's got to score this game. He's averaging over a goal a game across all comps and across La Liga. But every time I take an anytime goal scorer, it does not end well for me. So I just went with what I thought was the safest play. It's Madrid on the money line, parlayed with over 2.5 goals in the match. It's even money, Jordan. It's plus 100. It's your favorite number you talk about all the time. It just feels like after getting blanked, Madrid will come alive here. They were so naive against Liverpool. It was infuriating to watch as someone who had their team total, that they would only pass the ball to Vinny Jr. and just like overload the left. Well, they didn't defend it or threaten at all on the right side, and it just made Liverpool's job easy. I thought they let him off the hook. But Jordan, in this matchup, we've seen both teams scoring in 5 of the last 6. So maybe that Madrid money line with the both teams to score might be the way to go. I'm a little too much of a coward for that. It's plus 200. I'm going with the over 2.5 at plus 100. But Jordan, let's move on because we got one final matchup for you guys, and it is Celta de Vigo against Barcelona. This one sees Celta as home dogs of a full goal plus 1. The total is set at 3.25. Jordan, both teams to score, yes, minus 200 here. And Barcelona on the money line, minus 182. I smell a parlay. What do you got for us?
Yes, indeed, Devin. I love you giving us the Homer Simpson, like kind of throwing up in your mouth just a little bit, thirsting for that next beer.
I had to eat something. I had to eat something before I came on and then suck.
Did we lose you there? Something happened.
Oh, Jordy's lost. Jordy's frozen.
It didn't like you saying whatever you were about to say. I heard, and then I sucked, and it cut out.
I don't know what time to get cut off there. No, I think you had a connection issue, but you're back.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm hearing in the chat you froze, so I'm gonna blame you. Anyway,
it's trash.
Listen, yeah, Deb, you said you smell a parlay. Absolutely. Look, Celta Vigo, the both teams to score, yes, kings of La Liga. It hits in almost every match. I believe it's hit in 10 of their 11 matches played so far this season. It often ends 1-1, and nothing happens after that. They just ensure that you get both teams to score, yes. But they're playing this Barcelona team who were embarrassingly exposed for their absurdly high line in the midweek against Club Brugge. Dev, we know that doesn't always happen to them, but they do often play the high line. But it did seem suicidal in the midweek, especially that they didn't really correct it as the game went on. We know that one ended 3-3. It was a thriller. Obviously, Barca hit the woodwork a couple times, so maybe they, on another day, do win that despite the defensive issues. But regardless, the Celta Vigo team, they got guys that can cause problems, and I think they will. I think they will at least get a goal here. Borja Iglesias, quality player. Iago Aspas, quality player. These guys can cause problems to that high line, and they're at home here. And as you said, like when you get up against Barcelona or Real Madrid, regardless of whether or not it's a derby, you get up for those games. They may not be your Super Bowl, but they may be your wild card round, whatever. I think they get on the score sheet here. I know Barcelona get on the score sheet here. The question is, can one of these teams get a second goal? I think they can. Both teams to score an over 2.5. A little juicy, Dev, minus 138. But for me, this feels as close to a sure thing as we got on the card.
Yeah, Jordan, we've got Bob in the chat. He says Barcelona money line parlayed with both teams to score. Everyone scores on the high line. That's what he says. It's plus 170. I like that price a lot, Bob. That is a good way to go with this one, I think. In the end, I like to just stay off it. Celta scares me at home. Barcelona, they look rickety. They look rickety at the back. Jules Koundé looks like he's either lost in the system or he may just be over the hill. They're really banged up in some of those attacking positions. It's crazy how much they lean on teenagers all across the pitch for this team. And what do we know about teenagers, Jord?
You don't want to lean on them.
You don't, because they're unpredictable. And in a gambling show, we want things that we can predict. We want things that we that are consistent, we can rely on. So I'm out on this Barca team, although I like the way that you're going there, Bob. And look, if I were to tell you, it would surely lose. So I hope this way, at least maybe you can get a victory here. I will say over 2.5 goals, 10 straight Barcelona matches across all competitions, 5 straight both teams to score and overs have hit in this head-to-head matchup. So, George, your play is right in line with historicals, so we'll see what happens. I elected to stay away. But yeah, look, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, it's fair enough, Dev. But look, it's one thing to talk about these matches, and it's quite another to put our money where our mouths are and pay the bookie.
Chuck, I'm going to tell you something. You have that fucking 200 in my hands tomorrow. If you ain't got the 200 in my fucking hands tomorrow, I'll break every fucking bone in your body.
That's right, George. It's time for the official plays. Let's throw them up on the screen here. I'll read mine out first. We've got Man City, Liverpool, under 3.25 goals on the Asian total, minus 118. Palace and Brighton, both teams to score, and over 2.5, minus 105. Bournemouth on the spread, plus a quarter goal. Underdogs, minus 103. Juventus Torino is going to be under 2.5 goals, minus 125. And finally, for me, Real Madrid on the money line, parlayed with over 2.5 at even money.
I like the look of that card, Dev. The only one that scares me is the M23 Derby. We'll see how that goes. I wish you luck there. I've got Man City double chance in under 3.5 at plus 125. Love that price. I've gone with Palace minus a quarter of a goal. That's coming in at even money. In Ligue, I've got Lyon hosting PSG. I'm going both teams to score and over 2.5 in that, minus 110. In the Derby della Mole, I've got Juventus minus 1 on the Asian handicap. It's a free hit, minus 118. And finally, Celta Vigo versus Barcelona, both teams to score and over 2.5 at minus 138.
Hell yeah, Jordan. Well, that's going to do it for us. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching along. Thank you for your comments. We've got Catherine in the chat. She's keeping us around. She says, what do you guys think will be the nastiest match? And I'll leave nasty to your interpretation here, Jordan.
Nasty, like dirty. filthy. I'd probably go Palace Brighton, right? Get stuck in. A lot of hatred there. Maybe the Derby della Mole, but does anyone really want to watch that? Yeah, I'd go. I'd go Palace Brighton.
So true. I don't know if I'll have it on like a tertiary screen when I'm watching like the NFL or whatever. For me, it's Rayo Vallecano against Real Madrid. I think this will be disgusting. Rayo knows their only shot in this game is to try to get stuck in and be shithousers, and we'll see if they can do it effectively. But thank you guys, and thank you to everyone who commented tonight on the stream. We do appreciate it. If you're watching this later, throw us a like, throw us a follow, subscribe to our show. You'll always get the new updates when we come back from the international break. We'll have more and more shows for you. And don't forget, World Cup year coming up. World Cup this summer. Should be a lot of fun. But Jordan, before we get out of here, any last words for the people?
Yeah, how could we forget it's a World Cup year with all these international breaks we keep going into? It does give us a little break for the podcast, though, so we can regroup, so we don't mind that. But, Dev, all this talk has got me... I was just about to do a punchline, and I completely left out. It's time to go. We're over 45 minutes. I bottled the joke. Joke's on me.
Oh, man. Well, luckily
you
for you, I'm not going to wait and do one of those things where I'm like, no, explain the joke. Explain it to us. No.
Oh, I remember it now. It
Okay,
was,
here we go.
all this talk about getting stuck in has made me hot and bothered. So I gotta go.
Jesus Christ. Wow. Put
it's
the
good to be
vape
back.
down, man.
It's good to be
God
back.
damn. All right. Thank you guys so much. As always, till next time, let's make some money.
Let's make some money.
Martial.